What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new YouTube video. It's your girl Nicole, and I am super excited about today's video because it's about one of the most important things when it comes to muscle building and seeing results in the gym. We are going to be deep diving into progressive overload. I'm going to explain it in extremely simple terms and give you a bunch of examples so you'll be able to immediately implement this in your next training session. So if you find this video helpful, please hit the like button, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I would love to help you in any way that I can. Now let's get into it. Simply put, progressive overload is just doing more over time. The human body is super smart and it adapts to things over time. So if you're going into the gym doing the same workout, moving the same weight for the same number of reps, and you're not challenging yourself or implementing progressive overload, your body is not going to change. We need to give our bodies a reason to change, and we do this through applying progressive overload week after week. Progressive overload, in very simple terms, is increasing the amount of weight, the number of reps, number of sets, quality of form, and or time under tension gradually over time. You should have the goal of improving one of these things every single week. As you see, it is not only about just increasing the amount of weight that you move. There's so many other things that you can be progressively overloading. I have two disclaimers that I need to mention. First, I am explaining progressive overload with the goal of hypertrophy, which is building muscle gradually over time through strength training. So if you're looking to powerlift or endurance train, that is something completely different. However, if you're in the gym with the goal of building muscle to look better and feel better, your goal is most likely hypertrophy. If you're looking to deadlift 1,000 pounds, then that's a totally different story. Second, when you're progressively overloading, form should always be your top priority. So with everything that I mention in this video, proper form should always be a constant, regardless of what you're going to be adding into your training. At the end of the day, the quality of your form is so much more important than the amount of weight that you use. Not only will you avoid injury, but you'll also get so much more out of your workouts if you're executing with proper form. Okay, so what does progressive overload actually look like? Here's an example in which we are increasing the weight that we use. That's how we're progressively overloading. Let's say that you are hip thrusting every Monday during your leg sessions, and your program calls for 3 sets of 10 reps. For the past few weeks, you've been able to comfortably get 12 reps with 225 pounds. Was it difficult? Yes. But could you do more? Probably. So the following week, applying the principles of progressive overload, you should increase the amount of weight that you're moving by 2.5% to 10%. The amount that you increase by that percentage will depend on what movement you're doing exactly, but I will get more into that further on in the video. So for your next hip thrust session the next Monday, instead of using your comfortable weight of 225, try 245 and shoot for the same number of reps. So say with 245, you can only get 8 reps. That's great. Keep working at that every single week until you're getting to those numbers of 10, 13, 15 reps. Then you know exactly what you have to do next. I want to emphasize the word comfortable here, okay? If you're comfortable during your sets, your body is not going to change. You need to challenge your body in order for it to respond to the stimulus that you're giving it. You need to give it a reason to change. Weight training is such a mental game. You have the ability to convince yourself that you cannot do a specific weight, but you also have the ability to believe in yourself and surprise yourself with what you can actually do. You should be scared to try a new weight in the gym. The unknown is what makes it exciting. Constantly choosing to try something new that scares you a little bit and pushing to improve every single week in the gym not only builds muscle, but it also builds self-confidence. You're willing to bet on yourself so much more when you've stacked up proof and evidence over time that you can try new things even if they scare you and overcome them. Remember, you can do the hard things. You just have to mess around and find out. So how much weight should you add for your next session? Well, this depends on what type of movement that you're doing. So using our example from before with the hip thrust, those are a compound movement that engage large muscles. So you're able to make bigger jumps, maybe throwing a 5 or a 10 on each side of the bar. However, if you're doing an isolation movement with smaller muscles like bicep curls, you can't exactly add 5-10 pounds. That's a really substantial jump. So it would be something smaller. As a general rule of thumb, isolation or accessory movements that focus on a singular muscle or smaller muscles, I would increase by 2.5 to 5%. However, if you're talking about a compound movement that recruit larger muscles or larger muscle groups, then I say you can go from 5% to 10% increases. You're never gonna catch me in the gym with my calculator figuring out exactly how much weight I should put on the bar, but if it's a compound movement, I'll add anywhere from 5 to 20 pounds for my next training session, depending on the difficulty of the previous training session. And if it's an isolation or accessory movement, I'll do anywhere from 2.5 to 5 pounds. You know what would be reasonable for you to try next. Just remember to listen to your body, but also keep pushing yourself. So here's another example that doesn't involve increasing the weight, but is still progressive overload. So let's say you've been doing dumbbell shoulder press and your program calls for 3 sets of 10. And for the past few weeks, you've been getting 10 reps with the 20-pound dumbbells. So you're like, this week, I'm gonna try the 25s, but you can only get 6 reps. Obviously, that weight is a little bit too heavy. So since we can't make that jump and progressively overload in weight, what we can do is shoot for more reps next time. So try and get 2 to 3 additional reps on top of your 10. Just because your program calls for a set number of reps doesn't mean that you are stuck with that. If you have more left in the tank, push yourself, get those reps. So fighting for these additional reps over time will eventually break down the muscle more and encourage more growth, which will allow you to then eventually move up to using the 25s and getting all 10 reps. So I have 4 other examples that I'm going to cover in this video, but first I just want to say that the main takeaway from this video is that you should be challenging yourself in the gym if you want to see results. I'm an online health and fitness coach, and progressive overload is the main focus of every single client program, and that is why they see the results that they do. If you're excelling in every other area of your life, but your health and fitness has been put on the back burner, or maybe you're wanting to feel healthier, but you don't even know where to start, that is exactly what I do for the women in my program. I give you a clear plan of action to get from where you're at right now to where you want to be, all while building your body, building your confidence, and your self-worth. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then the first link in the description will take you to my one-on-one coaching application. We can hop on a call and see if this is something that would work for you. The call is completely free. I'm not gonna try and sell you on anything. Let's just see where you're at right now, what goals you're looking to achieve, and how I can help you start making progress towards that. Okay, now back to the examples. Other ways that you can implement progressive overload is to increase the amount of sets that you do. So instead of doing 3 sets of 10, try doing 4 sets of 10. Increasing the amount of volume over time will force your muscles to grow. You can also adjust the tempo. So you can start adding in longer eccentrics. The eccentrics are the negative portion of the movement. So instead of just doing normal reps, you can do shoulder press with a 3-second eccentric. So you're taking 3 seconds to lower the weight down before you bring it back up. You could also add in pauses at the bottom of the movement. What all of these things have in common is that they are increasing the intensity of your training and also increasing the amount that the muscle is broken down. Those muscle fibers are being torn apart so they can rebuild and come back bigger and stronger. Finally, one other option would be to add in supersets or trisets. This is another way to increase the intensity of your training. So what a superset is taking 2 workouts and doing one after the other without resting in between and resting after the second workout. Trisets are the same exact thing, it's just with 3 workouts instead of 2. So for example, let's say you are supersetting lateral raises with upright rows to really work those boulder shoulders. So what you will do is your normal set of lateral raises and you will jump right into the dumbbell upright rows with no breaks in between. Then after you've completed both of those, then you will rest for your 1 to 2 minutes. And that will be 1 superset. So you can do 3 sets of the superset if that's something that you're interested in. In conjunction with all of this, you need to make sure that you are properly nourishing and feeding your muscles that you're breaking down in the gym. Protein should be a huge priority, as well as all of the other macronutrients. Protein, carbs, and fat are essential to live a healthy lifestyle and also recover what you're breaking down in the gym. In addition to that, you need to be drinking enough water and sleeping at night. Your body needs all of these things to recover properly. Weightlifting is only one piece of the puzzle when it comes to living a healthy lifestyle. So make sure that you're dialing all of these things in if you really want to see results as quickly as possible. So that's all that I have for you guys today. I hope that this offered some clarity around progressive overload and that you're feeling confident to walk into the gym and implement this during your next training session. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Maybe send it to a friend that needs this information. I appreciate every single one of you that is watching, and I thank you for your time and attention. Peace out, YouTube fam. I'll see you in the next